Welcome to Broad Ideas. You're in Rob's chair.
I am Rob.
We don't have Rob.
Yeah, where is he?
He's taking pictures of preschoolers.
That
Sounds really weird.
Ew. Yeah,
He's doing Vincent's school photos for his class.
that's right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever, it's us. We have Rachel Bloom today. She has her Netflix special that is out.
Dad, let me do my special.
Dad, let me do my special. She was such a joy to speak with. We had a great conversation, and now you guys get to be in on it. Let's welcome Rachel. Cheeseburger. Do you put the fries in the cheeseburger?
No, but now I want to.
Do you get the onions and the pickles and everything?
Do you do the whole thing?
Yeah.
You get it how it comes?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it how it's, which is I don't like raw tomatoes, but it doesn't come with tomatoes, right?
No, it does
No,
not.
no.
Because that would
That would
they'd be wilty.
destroy it.
Yeah.
No, it would destroy it. This is the kind of shit we care about.
This is what we care about most in life, by the way. Yeah.
Like, what else is there?
They did the Jack in the Box French fries well.
Oh, that was really good.
Their
That was
taco was
really
good.
good.
The French fry
taco
taco
was good.
I mean, the
Yeah.
French fry taco. Hello. The Jack in the Box taco?
The
I'm
Jack in
fine,
the Box
really.
taco was really good.
Yeah, they did a I've been so many times. Why am I not remembering?
There was some sort of chicken sandwich that was good. What was that? Was it Jack in the Box?
I don't remember. I didn't
No?
have that one. Not at that thing we were at. I don't know.
What did they have at the thing we were at? They had fries. The fries were excellent.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I know. I think we're just hungry,
I
so
am
we just want to
hungry.
talk about food.
Yep.
Did you know that fries are the worst thing that you can eat? And we eat
No,
them
I'm not.
weekly.
I'm not surprised.
I'm like, there's got to be worse. Like anything worse? No.
Why?
The oil in which they're cooked.
She
clogs.
decided to tell me this, by the way, while we were at a county fair. Like, proceeded to tell me why French fries are the worst thing for you while we're at a county fair, where I want them with flaming hot Cheetos on them.
Yeah,
So,
well,
like,
well,
it
you're
was-
gonna still get them, but like, there's some huge health guy was like, if you were offered a pack of cigarettes or French fries, what would you choose?
yeah.
And he said a pack of cigarettes because
What?
because the
Like a whole pack of cigarettes at once?
versus the fries
I mean,
because it stays in the arteries.
oh,
Whereas cigarettes, you metabolize them, and at least the nicotine has some sort of effect. We can introduce you. Welcome.
I was going to say, are we recording?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
recording.
we
This is
don't-
just kind of
we
how we
just-
roll.
yeah.
It's just, you know,
I love
we
it.
get into
Yeah.
it. Like cheeseburgers, French fries, cigarettes, all of it.
Rachel did get mad though, because she was like, "You're saying that in front of my daughter." I'm like, "She's not gonna care."
I did. I'm like definitely the parent that's less information, just because my kid's so sensitive.
Sure.
Like, she'll be like, "Am I gonna die? Like if I
Right.
eat whatever?" So I err on that side.
I can eat the food knowing it's cognitive dissonance, right?
Me too.
You eat it knowing it's bad for you, but you're like, it's such comfort food. You kind of
Yeah.
don't care. I also don't eat it every day.
Right. So it's not.
A pack of cigarettes versus French
Yeah.
fries?
He picked a pack of cigarettes. I eat a lot of French fries. I'm not gonna lie. I really like them dipped in ranch.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my 4-year-old loves French fries. I
I-
can't take them away.
You can't take them away.
I haven't taken knowing it. I still don't take it away.
I don't like In-N-Out. I don't like In-N-Out fries.
You know
I
what?
do.
Neither do I.
Oh,
I like McDonald's. I like skinny,
100%.
greasy, salty.
Yeah.
In and out, they're too
No,
potatoey.
they're too
It
potato.
tastes like I'm eating a
They're
potato.
a real potato.
If
Why
I
are
want
you
if I
giving
want
me
a potato, I'll eat a baked potato.
Right. Do not give
Totally
me a
agree.
real potato in a fry.
How do you feel
Thank
about
you.
baked potatoes?
I love baked potatoes.
too.
And I should say, by the way, I'm getting over a cold, so my voice doesn't usually sound like this. That's the musical theater kid in me.
Yeah.
Who's like, I'm in an audition, and it's just like, just to let you know, I was sick 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I think it's sexy.
I always love a
so,
sick voice.
yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I always did my outgoing voicemail when I was sick because I like how it sounded.
Hi, Rachel. Yeah.
When we used to do that, like, hey, can't come to the phone right now.
Well, that's also very SoCal. Like, because I grew up in Southern California and I was like very not cool, but I would like definitely put on a vocal fry just to sound like cool. And like I went into college with vocal problems because I had artificially been lowering my voice kind of to sound like this. But you know, it's really It's really sexy. What were we talking about?
I know.
We were talking about baked potatoes.
Okay.
I love baked potatoes. I love baked potatoes and I love mashed potatoes. And my friend at his wedding had a mashed potato bar. And I'm still thinking about it.
Wait,
and it's been 12
what does that entail?
years. Mashed regular potatoes with butter.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes with chives. Mashed sweet potatoes.
Ooh.
Mashed sweet potatoes with
Brown sugar
marshmallows.
or marshmallow. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
My favorite thing that's ever been at a wedding.
that is
And I still ask him about it.
that is actually
What do you
incredible.
ask him about it?
Do you remember the mashed potato? And actually, he didn't get to try any. He and his wife didn't get because they were so busy.
Yeah, you don't eat at your wedding.
And I was like, no, it was the best wedding I've ever been to because of the mashed
The
potatoes.
mashed potato. But like, how did it stay hot? Was it in like the
They have
tin
little,
like,
things
chafing
that
It
like
was the part, it was like cocktail hour of the
Yeah,
wedding.
okay.
You know, some weddings do the cocktail hours where
Yeah.
the food is better there. So they had this unbelievable pre-wedding, or no, I guess between ceremony and dinner cocktail hour. Amazing setups. I want to say they had a pasta station, they had sushi, whatever.
yeah,
Mashed potatoes. It was a dream.
that is a dream.
That is.
I am
But
really
I don't
into
like
it.
the fries. If you're going to give me a potato, give me a potato. If you're going to give me fries, I don't want to know the fries came from a potato.
Yeah,
I want it
Right.
to taste salty,
100%.
artificial.
There's nothing better than a McDonald's fry.
Nothing.
No,
nothing.
It reigns king. Here's the thing, though. Do you like the soggy ones or the crispy ones?
Soggy.
Oh, we'd be good friends because I like the crispy, so then you can share.
So our other best friend likes the soggy, and I liked the more crispy. So we always shared fries well.
Yeah.
I
What-
love the
what
soaked
best
in
friend?
grease.
Yeah,
Oh, she does.
yeah.
Soaked in grease. I like the combo. But do you take mashed potato over baked potato?
This is the hardest question I've ever been asked in my life.
You know, we hit hard here.
Yeah.
With a heavy heart, I'm going to say yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mashed.
You know, I don't like to delve into controversy, but it's time that I took a stand in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose a mashed potato, like a buttery Now, if it's a chunky, under buttered mashed
Smashed.
potato
No.
over like a really sour, creamy baked, that's a
gonna-
conversation.
That's a conversation. These are the important things in life.
Yeah,
It solves everything.
Well, what would you choose?
Mashed or baked potato.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw another thing out there. There's nothing I like more. Well, twice baked potato. We're really talking. I love a broccoli cheese baked potato.
Oh, sure.
Mm. Yeah, no one's mad
Yeah.
at that.
No, but like that, I would choose over
Do you put sour cream on
anything.
it, though?
With the broccoli cheese?
Yeah.
No.
I really like the sour cream on the baked potato with the salt.
So
and
you
the
would go
pepper.
baked potato.
Well, and I
Go
basically
baked
like
potato.
I mash it all, so it's basically like I've created a kind of soup bread bowl.
Yeah.
But it's the potato skin is the bread bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I almost make a mashed potato
In your
In your
baked
baked potato.
That's sexy.
You know what? I like that. I'm
into
going to do
it.
that.
Yeah.
100%. I
When
want
I
to do
was
it tonight.
pregnant, that was my craving food was baked potatoes with sour cream, and then I would just pour A1 on them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a pregnancy move.
Mhm.
How was your pregnancy?
Yeah, tell us what your
I
cravings
give it
were.
60-40, 60% positive. I was nauseous for a lot of the time. I never threw up. I don't throw up easily, but I was nauseous.
Yeah.
Cravings are interesting. It was, in retrospect, I totally had cravings. At the time, it felt like I was so hungry and there was only one food I could tolerate, which was turkey sandwiches.
And turkey is a hard thing when you're pregnant.
I couldn't
But
do
the
turkey.
turkey, the cold cut turkey,
Yeah.
a turkey and cheese sandwich with mustard,
Yeah.
it was all I could stomach.
Were you the type that like heated the cold cuts to like potentially kill the bacteria? Or did you
No.
not worry about it? You just ate the turkey.
I just ate the turkey.
Great.
Because also my doctor had said, I asked about cold cuts and she
Yeah.
said the real thing is listeria from vegetables.
Oh.
So I was like washing my vegetables.
Yeah.
Really, I say that as if I eat a lot of vegetables. Yeah, I was washing.
watched my
I have a
vegetable.
garden, and so I was no. So I was more mindful of that. But she was like, you can eat sushi, just
Yeah.
don't eat the mercury fish. So like I would
Right.
eat salmon, but not tuna.
yeah. I like that. I like the more relaxed approach because I feel like there's so many warnings and fear-based shit.
I
that
feel
they
like
put in
it
your head.
switched right after we had our first kids, though.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, because I remember when I was pregnant with Elliot, he's 9 now, they were like, no deli meat. And then by the time I was pregnant with Shepherd, they were like, eat whatever you want.
Mm.
My doctor told me that if you were to get salmonella or food poisoning from sushi, you'll be really sick, but the baby will be fine.
That's right.
It's that listeria is what fucks up a fetus.
Ah.
I don't know.
Who knows? I got so sick stomach bug when I was pregnant,
Oh,
like 5 months pregnant. And I remember going to the hospital because like really sick, like needed, whatever. And the doctor there being like, well, it could go either way. Like that was
What
their,
does that
what do you mean? Like the baby might die?
like you're so sick, like it could go either way.
Holy
and I was
shit.
like, what? Like, what the fuck?
That is not chill.
No.
Doctors are weirdly casual because they see such fucked up shit all the time though.
Yeah.
Like my husband's uncle's a doctor and I was texting him questions and he was like, we were talking about yearly colonoscopies or whatever because this is what I
That's
like
where
to
we're
get into.
at.
And he's like, oh, I haven't had a colonoscopy in 25 years. I'm like, what? And he's like, it's fine. Doctors, I don't know, they're so hardened and they also care so little about their own health.
Yeah.
I
Her
lived with
husband's a
one.
doctor.
What kind of doctor?
Family medicine trained, now longevity. But like he used to work in an ER. He desensitized. Like there's no
No.
That's my dream.
Yeah. He's like, I've seen so
to
many.
be desensitized.
No. My dream, well, first of all, like there was a part of me as a kid that wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
I love surgery, gross body.
Yeah.
stuff?
Like, do you watch all those shows?
I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then ever since I've had a kid, I'm less tolerant of gore. It really has messed with my brain in so many ways. But, and then I'm also not a hypochondriac, but I'm mindful of health. And so having a doctor around to ask questions all the time is my dream.
No, it's awful. You don't get anything. You get no sympathy. You get no
But you get answers, right?
You get shut down, right? Because it'll be like, why are you going there? You know, whereas a normal person, or not that they're not normal, but like a typical person that doesn't have the information will be like, oh, your neck is cramping? Like, what's going on? He'll be like, really? You're fine. It's a neck cramp.
But you don't know that.
But he does.
Right. But that's nice. Like the scary
Until it's not.
Right.
Until then you go, is this okay? And he goes, yeah, it's fine. And then he goes, pack the car, we're going to the hospital. And then you're like, what the fuck? Right? So it's not as comforting as people would think. And they don't have the tolerance for your questions
Right.
at all.
And that's your husband who's supposed to love you.
Supposed to. I tell him that every
Right.
day. You're supposed to love me.
But okay, so here's what gets me is like, so heart disease is the number one killer of women. And you know, the way it manifests in women is not chest pain.
Yeah.
It manifests as overall sickness. You feel like you have a flu because our bodies are meant to withstand pain because of childbirth. What the fuck? So how the fuck do you know
If you have a flu or
if you have a
heart
flu
disease.
or if you're about to die of a heart attack?
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's really messed up.
See, and I think we're better off not knowing that information.
Yeah, no.
But at the end of the day, if I had someone around who's going to say,
He's going to say it's the flu.
and then you drop dead.
And then you drop dead
And
and
it's
he's
his
going to
fault.
say goodbye.
And he's going to say,
You know, well, he does. Here's the one thing that is maybe a little helpful is he does all my labs every 6 months, takes me to get full body scans.
oh, that's interesting that he's pro that because a lot of doctors are like, don't do the full body scan because you'll find something and then you'll go down a rabbit hole and chances are it's nothing.
He just
he's
saved someone's life this week, found a brain tumor.
So he's pro the full body scan. Where did you go? Was it what is it, Prenuvo?
It wasn't Prenuvo, but,
I know
but that's where
everyone-
people are going to Prenuvo. We went to, I don't know, it was like Beverly Hills Imaging or something like that. But the cool thing is that he is finding stuff in people that can save their lives. So like maybe they'd be able to tell if there's a heart thing before you drop dead.
Okay.
I don't know. I always am like, am I dead? Am I like alive? And he's like, you have a cold.
But they say that with such authority.
Yeah.
And like, but what's the difference between that? They know the things, they know a magic language.
But here's the thing, they're always doing the math.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to learn because I have a kid that was in NICU for 30 days.
Oh my
And
God. My
so
daughter was in the NICU, but for 5 days.
It's
Yeah.
not, it's
Why?
not fun.
What happened?
Well, I talk about it in my Netflix special.
Oh,
No, she was born with something called TTN, which is fluid in your lungs. So, but it's a whole thing where I gave birth in late March 2020. So it was COVID. It's based. I mean, the long story short is I had a normal pregnancy, gave birth. She's in the NICU. It was as COVID was getting bad, and the rules in the hospital were changing as she was in the NICU. And then the kind of side note, worst part of it is my writing partner, my songwriting partner, the night I gave birth, I found out he had COVID and was on a ventilator. And then he died of COVID a week after I gave birth. Yeah.
oh my God.
Rachel.
Which is the kind of, not to bring everyone down, but
No,
but that's why I have a show
shit.
about, that's why I'm doing the rounds promoting a thing about death. Yeah.
That's what it
That's
is.
what
That's
it
what
is.
it's about. I know. Oh my God.
It always brings everything down. There's no casual.
No, but
We
it's
don't give a
it's
fuck
no.
about casual.
but that's
to be
but
honest.
that but like, so I mean, the way that I view life and death has changed since that.
I'm sure.
I was always kind of hypochondriacal. But that experience has made me very aware.
Yeah.
But 30 days is a long time in the NICU. What did your kid have?
He has a chromosome syndrome. So he had lung issues and all this stuff. But when you're with a doctor, they're doing the math that you don't know they're doing. So when they give you the answer, it's not that they didn't think of all the things. They thought of all the things. And then they're like, here's all you need to know.
It's a cold.
But
They weighed, could this be a heart thing?
They went, yeah, because then if I'm like, speak it out loud, he'll say the things. And then you're like, okay, that's helpful. Now I know why you came to that conclusion. Right?
But it's probably, it's like show your work in math where it's like,
Show your work.
Do I really have to show
Right.
you the
That's what he's
long
saying. I don't
division?
need to show my work. Right? Can we circle back?
Boy, really quickly, yes. Because it was so funny when I was in Italy. I was in Italy. That's the story.
That's it.
I've been to Italy. My time here is over. I was in Italy and I got in like a scooter accident. I was fine.
Like a Vespa?
Like a Vespa accident. I was riding with my friend who I thought she knew how to ride a Vespa, and then midway through the ride she went, "Oh, this is my first time."
Oh my God.
So we
in
crashed.
Italy too.
Yeah. We crashed. We fell. Her face was all fucked up. My tits saved my face. I fell on my tits.
Hey.
I fell on my stomach. I wasn't pregnant, thank God.
Oh my God.
But as I'm in an ambulance. I'm in an Italian ambulance.
Oh my God.
And I remembered an episode of ER
No, stop.
that I'd seen as a kid where a woman had been in a car accident and seemed fine, but then died of internal bleeding.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was calling my
Oh my God.
husband's uncle,
Yeah.
being like, am I going to bleed out? And they spoke Italian. The ambulance person was speaking Italian. So I kept trying to say to them, like, internal bleeding, check for internal. I was like, ER, have you seen ER? and what my husband's uncle made me realize is, oh no, they were taking all the vitals that you would know if there was bleeding. It's just they couldn't explain because they were Italian. And they were also probably like, this idiot American in another Vespa accident. I hate these people.
Right.
Stay out of my country.
Well, that's the thing is that they're like, we're not new. Like they know they're checking for internal bleeding.
Yes.
But we watch House or ER or any of these things and we're like,
Or Instagram.
have you thought of, and they're like, have you gone to school for this?
Or WebMD or Reddit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All of it.
Oh,
I think it's the worst thing you can do is Google any ailment.
And it's hard not to.
It's absolutely hard. You do it every
been taken
time.
off Google like a drug addict.
Yeah.
Like you are not allowed on your phone to Google.
but you live with a Google.
You live with
So-
a
So
Google.
he's like, ask me, don't ask the internet
Yeah.
because you're only going to get the worst case scenarios. People aren't sitting there all day writing about benign
Right.
things,
right.
you know?
Right.
So that's, it's informative.
That's a
but
good point.
no one's doing that.
That no one is going on the subreddit and being like, update, it was just a speck of dirt.
Never.
They just
Never.
forget that they posted on Reddit.
Mm-hmm. Support comes from Skims.
Oh.
Yeah. We love Skims. I'm going to tell you guys about my underwear.
Let's hear it.
I'm obsessed with it. It is so comfortable. It's the Fits Everybody collection by Skims, and I feel like it's their best kept secret. The feeling is like no other underwear I've worn before. It is so stretchy and soft. It just kind of like melts onto your body. Feels like butter, and you forget you're wearing it. I love it, and I think everyone should experience this level of comfort. I and you have been wearing Skims for, I don't know, years.
Since they came out.
Since they came out.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I have been introduced and tried the Fits Everybody collection. It is life-changing. If I had the choice, like if I didn't have to wear underwear, I probably wouldn't. But like I like to wear underwear for many reasons. And now their Fits Everybody collection makes it feel like you're not really wearing it. And it's so comfortable that it is the perfect solution for me.
And it fits everybody.
It fits everybody. I am replacing all of my underwear ASAP. The Fits Everybody collection is available in sizes extra, extra small to 4X. You can shop now at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know I sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show, Broad Ideas, in the drop-down menu that follows. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar. Waking up in the morning is rough. The brain, for me, does not start going until thanks to IQ Bar. IQ Bar refuels and it nourishes. It satisfies your hunger, by the way, with no sugar crash. So start each day right with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their ultimate sampler pack includes all three. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners an exclusive deal, 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. We're going to talk a little bit more about IQ Joe, which is a jitter-free instant coffee packed with 200 milligrams of natural caffeine and brain and productivity-boosting ingredients like magnesium and lion's mane. It comes in 4 delicious flavors: vanilla spice, cafe mocha, and toasted hazelnut. Plus, there's a limited edition pumpkin spice while supplies last. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text IDEAS to 64,000. Text IDEAS to 64,000. That's IDEAS to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Support comes from Posh Peanut. Your kids grow fast, but that doesn't mean they have to outgrow their favorite items after only a few months. Posh Peanut gets it, which is why they make super stretchy and colorful clothes that seem to grow with your child, so you'll get longer wear out of those adorable styles.
It's true. It really is.
Are you frustrated by buying your kids clothes and having them grow out of them within a week? Do they itch, pinch, and they just aren't comfortable? Then you need to check out Posh Peanut, made from viscose from bamboo. The clothes stretch with your kid as they grow and are 4 times stretchier than cotton. They are made to last. They are loved by parents and approved by kids.
And they're really soft.
The softest. Posh Peanut makes thoughtfully crafted, beautiful, and stylish clothing for kids and families designed in-house, from beautiful florals to your favorite brands such as Hot Wheels, that's Olivia's favorite,
Yep.
Disney, Hello Kitty, and Barbie. Right now, Posh Peanut is offering our listeners 20% off your first order with promo code BROAD. Go to poshpeanut.com/broad and use promo code BROAD for 20% off your first order. That's poshpeanut.com/broad, promo code BROAD.
You guys, so this is bringing me back, like you talking about the death and the life. I was listening to this book. Have you listened or read Signs?
No.
I think you have to.
Well, it's not the M. Night Shyamalan movie, right?
Yes, it is.
It's the novelization of the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
It's just something's telling me you need to hear it. No, it's a book by Laura Lynn Jackson about communication from the other side when you lose someone?
So it's really interesting because a big part, because I know on this podcast you're witchy and you talk about ghosts and stuff. So something I went through, and I talk about it in the special, but also it's something I've thought about a lot, is I've always been very torn between two parts of myself. The part of me that's really interested in the unexplained. Like I got a book when I was 10 from my grandparents called Mysteries of the Unexplained, which is all about ghosts, aliens, Aleister Crowley, all of that stuff. And I was like very witchy. And then when I was about 21 or 22, I became an atheist and I got really into skepticism. And it made me a better person for many reasons. So I have these two split aspects of myself that is really interested in witchy stuff and is also very skeptical of it. And so when my friend died, because there were a couple other people who then died in 2020, I've had numerous experiences going to a psychic to mostly negative results. And the thing that I want, because so basically where I'm at is I'm desperate for there to be something more, but I need proof.
For sure.
And so far, nothing has manifested that has given me proof. So I remain a skeptic.
Yeah.
But I would love for there. I'm like an atheist who doesn't want to be an atheist. I just need evidence. But I'm sincerely open to it. And basically, I went to this one psychic to try to talk to Adam, and she was saying stuff that sounded like him, but I had tried to go to her under a fake name. We have mutual friends, but my real email came through the PayPal, so she knew exactly who I wanted to talk to. So she started saying stuff that sounded like Adam, but I realized like she could have looked at videos of him.
Right.
And there's a whole interesting study of psychics they did out of Yale that
Share all of
Yeah,
this,
no,
please.
this is so fascinating.
Love it.
So
love
anyway,
it.
because I'm really interested in this stuff. So basically I think it's Yale, there was a study where they were studying hallucinating. And they found people who say that they have psychic abilities, and basically the parts of their brain that light up when they're channeling, hearing voices, are the same that light up when people are having hallucinations under schizophrenia. Yeah. So there's this, is it a theory, or it's kind of one possibility is people who are psychic aren't hucksters. They are hearing stuff, but they're having basically non-mental illness hallucinations. It's almost like you're dreaming while awake.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, I used to have this thing, I think it's called sleep hypnagogia, it's pronounced, where I would open my eyes after a dream and I'd still see the dream in front of me and it looked like a ghost. But I knew it was a dream because it was this dream I was having. And then I'd do this and it would go away. But I had that experience as a kid of hearing things and seeing things that weren't there. So I know that your brain can do that. So anyway, my theory with this psychic is that she knew who I wanted to talk to. She probably went online, looked at some interviews, and then her brain, not on purpose, potentially, her brain then, like your subconscious, almost like a computer, like got all that information, digested it, and then the voices she heard back were her brain being like, well, if this is true, this guy would say this, and this guy would say this, because I then went back to her for yet another friend who died. And it was a completely different experience.
Really?
Because she didn't, and I was very vague. I wasn't like mean about it, but I was like, I want to talk to a friend who died too young. And that's all I told her. And it was not a good reading. But with Adam, it was a very good reading, but she knew who I wanted to talk to.
Right.
And then I went to another psychic recently. I'm actually really open to going to psychics.
Clearly.
No, yeah.
Because I want it to be true.
Right.
But I went
feel
to
you
another
so
psychic
hard.
recently
Yeah.
who, this was more of a friend of a friend has realized she's a psychic medium, which is a whole other story.
I want all of these.
But she was like, I was like, I'm skeptical. I love you, but I'm skeptical about this. And she was like, go to this woman. This woman's amazing. I Zoomed with this woman. And It was terrible. I mean, it was terrible reading. I was open, but like it was the definition of a psychic cold read where she was like, so I told her a fake name. And it's a name that sounds like it was like Stephanie Smith or something. So she went, okay, so I'm getting a name, George, Ginger, there's something, a strong male named George, Justin. And I went, nope. And she was like, okay, I'm getting a D. And it's like, oh, she thought this woman's name was Stephanie Smith. So she's going, all right, well, this woman sounds kind of like generic American waspy. She probably comes from a family that's like George. She was picking all of these very kind of Americana names, and I'm Jewish, right? So, but I didn't give her my real name or any information. And at one point, she was trying to, do what psychics do, which is cold read, which is when they get information from you to be like, is there anyone in your life who's passed away with a J, anywhere from an A through a J name? And I was like, I don't know. It depends who it is. And she went, okay, listen, I can't read your mind. Yep.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So then she finally hit on, she went, L, is there, and this is like after 10 minutes, she goes, is there a Lily? And I go,
You guys were playing Wheel of Fortune.
and I go, she goes, is there a Lily? And I go, I mean, my husband's grandmother was named Lily.
Yeah.
So I spoke to my fucking husband's grandparents for 20 minutes about nothing. By the way, got no insights on his family, and it was nothing specific. And by the way, like, my husband's grandparents are all Holocaust survivors.
Wow.
So there are very specific, easy things they could say to let me know it was them. There was nothing about that.
Right.
So I spend 25 minutes talking to her vaguely, and then I go, can we get back to my family?
You're like, I don't really care. Yeah.
So it was terrible. So I have not had anything yet where
We haven't had, okay.
I do want it to be true. And look, if we believe in energy, maybe I'm giving off a blocked energy, but like, I like to think I'm open. I want this to be true.
Yeah, but you keep going. You can't be giving that blocked of an energy and show up at the same time.
I try to give a very non-judgmental energy, and especially because like where I'm at as a skeptic is the skeptic atheist vibe is very male. Typically, it's very much guys being like, "That's not true. All this stuff that women want to do with the moon, it's bullshit, right?" But I know how much women's health has been ignored for thousands of years. And so oftentimes healers, midwives, that's the only health you had as a woman who would take your pain seriously. And my friend Rena Raphael wrote this amazing book called The Gospel of Wellness. That's a book about, it's wonderful.
That sounds cool.
And it's a book kind of demystifying and, you know, getting into like the goop world and like what's true, what's not. But it's very compassionate because it's like, look, at the end of the day, women are overworked and we're confused. And we have a lot of questions about our bodies and our hormones. This is all coming from an understandable place, as opposed to, I think, a very male, like, this is all dumb and bullshit. And if you believe this, you're an idiot. So like, I'm very understanding and open to things that don't have proof. I would say alternative ways of believing.
Right.
But also, at the end of the day, feelings aren't facts.
Right.
And that's something I've had a lot of issues with my mental health. To be vague, let's just say I was in an environment as a child where feelings were facts. And that's been a journey of mine to get past that. And so at the end of the day, feelings aren't facts. I want to get to the facts. That helps ground me as a person. It makes me a better person when I ground myself in what's true, what's not true. But I'm kind of split. So it basically makes me non-judgmental, but I don't let go of my critical thinking skills.
I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
You know what I mean? Like I'm out there in the woo-woo world, but the only reason I am is for quantifiable reasons, right? Like if I can make it make sense, I still need that so desperately. Like I still need the evidence. I need the facts. I need to understand why. And even when I hear what you're explaining in the brain, that's just where it ignites, right? So it's like the same thing as the feeling and the sense of deja vu when they've studied it is the same as a seizure.
It's so interesting.
Right? And so it's like, yeah, it is. However, that's just where it ignites in the brain. It doesn't really explain anything.
Totally. And that's why a
Right?
lot of psychics actually participated in this study. Is the study doesn't say even what I said, which is like, actually, you're just having hallucinations. All the study said is
It's the same area of the
it's
brain.
the same area of the brain. That's all it said.
Right.
And it's kind of like non-judgmental, leave it open to your own interpretations. But totally, like I talked to one of the psychics I talked to. I was like, so how does this all work? And she's like, look, it's like the internet. There's Wi-Fi with the spiritual world, and your brain is the hardware. If your phone breaks, it doesn't mean the internet is gone. It just means your phone breaks, but there's still Wi-Fi. And that's how she compared like the spirit world. I thought that was really interesting. I was like, oh, I would love that to be true. That would be amazing.
Right.
I just haven't yet seen any even anecdotal proof that it's true.
I do have a question for you on
Yeah.
your writing.
Yeah.
So have you ever felt the sensation? The only way there's certain work that I do that I can explain is I have nothing to do with it. And I know that because my brain doesn't actually know where it comes from. So if I'm helping someone with a problem, things will come through me where I'm like, I don't know where the fuck that came from, right? So in your writing, in your comedy, in everything that you've created thus far, can you really take responsibility for that? Or is there a certain place that you're more open than other people that's clicked into that channel?
I think when I was first writing, yes, my writing would be very based on inspiration. And it's why I did a lot of my best work like in the shower or like on a walk. And it feels like it's not coming from you, right?
Correct.
And I still have those moments. And that's how creativity feels, right? It feels like it's something else. When you're writing regularly, you can't always rely on that though. You have to write past it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot of like my process. So I had the show for 4 years, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend,
Yeah.
where I was acting, I was also writing the songs, and like
And it was amazing. And you won a Golden Globe.
Yeah.
I did.
You did all those
We
things.
should talk about, did you ever interact with the Hollywood Foreign Press?
I mean, not for like being nominated for a Golden Globe, but you know, the interviews and whatnot.
Yeah,
yes.
it was very interesting. So anyway, I was often, that show forced me to come up with a process and write past when I was feeling blocked because I had to.
Right.
Now, something that I didn't know on that show that I only found out recently was like, I have ADHD. And so there are two sides of that coin with me. There's the side that's like, I think A to D to F to 6, right? And that's where the creativity sometimes comes from.
Yep.
But then my brain gets overheated with too much going on. And it's like, oh, I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and I have to do this. And I shut down. So part of something I'm still working through is, what is my writing creative process? And learning in a writing day how to put in those moments where it feels like divine inspiration. Because I find I get inspiration when I go on a walk, when I'm just extrapolating to myself, when I'm not sitting at the computer.
Moving. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see that as divine. I see that as the brain. My brain is amazing. And my brain, I need to get up. I need to be moving, and I need to channel whatever my brain is processing. Like dreams, I find so amazing. I had a dream, this was like a year ago, but I dreamt I was in a public square in Europe. And for whatever reason, I must have been thinking about this because it was a lucid dream where I was in this public square in Italy. But you know, like I always come back to that I've been to Italy. When I was in Italy. Anyway, my brain had created all of these people. And in this dream, I looked into the faces of all of these basically extras, these background actors. And I was like, my brain made you. My brain made you. My brain made you. So I just think the brain is amazing, and there's so much that scientists still don't know about the brain.
Yeah.
I guess I think more there's still so much to be learned about the brain.
Yeah.
I don't go to divine inspiration because there's so much, like, you almost don't need it. I don't need a ghost to be incepting me because my brain is putting together all these connections that, like, it's magic.
But see, to me in that, I go, okay, but what is that brain connected to? Because I'm really into this theory right now of like this planet that we're on is a fucking algorithm, and like what we think about, what we look for, what we speak, we start to see it, and it's like, oh, weird, I was just saying that, and it's something's fucking listening, right? So is it that your brain then just opens up a little bit more and sees what's already there? Or is there some sort of rhythmic thing that it's clicked into, and whatever channel you're on, it's feeding you?
Well, my counter question,
that might be a little psycho.
No, it's not. My counter question, because people talk about this like signs and patterns. My counter question is, or do you have a brain that picks up patterns and you're picking up signs and patterns? Because think of all the times in the day where we don't
see it. Yeah.
Right. We don't have weird patterns and we don't have weird things. And I don't have the answer to this. I think about that a lot.
We thought you would.
Like, my husband has a story where, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. I'll text him after this, but I think I can share the story. Years ago, 20 years ago, he had a vivid dream about this woman he used to see every day at a coffee shop. And it was a dream where, like, they were married and in love. It was one of the most viscerally emotional dreams he'd ever had. And it's a woman he hadn't seen in years. And he woke up, he got on the subway, and that woman was there.
No.
Hadn't seen her in years.
See,
I know, chills.
And I say, did you say anything to her? And he was like, I didn't. And that was it.
That was it.
Right? So what is that?
Wait, does that fuck with you?
So this is what I'm saying.
But here's
it's algorithm.
Okay, so here's my science brain is like, I think the odds are good that he saw her fleetingly on the subway. He was going to and from work. The odds are good that he saw her fleetingly on the subway once or twice, even the day before. And it was too fast because he hadn't seen her in years, right?
Right.
It was too fast for him to clock who that was. But his brain, because our brains are amazing, was like, oh my God, that woman.
Right.
Had a dream. The next day he sees her because he'd already seen her, but he just hadn't
Clocked it, really.
Clocked it.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Sure.
He swears like he hadn't seen her. But look, that shit's weird. But at the end of the day, they're not married.
No.
So who won?
Right.
It depends on which
But does that story bother you?
Living in.
Like,
no, I think it's beautiful.
yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, there's a part of me that's like, go to her.
She's waiting for you.
She's waiting for you. No, but I mean,
Oh my God.
I don't know. Like we ran into his ex-girlfriend at the Grand Canyon one time.
That's random.
That's random
if you
as
were
fuck.
if you were writing a movie where the movie was that was the true love of his life,
Yeah.
You'd put her there.
you'd put her there, right? But in the movie where I'm the love of his life, which I am,
Yeah.
that's either random or it's leaving the past behind, saying hello. So I don't know.
Support for Broad Ideas comes from Quince. I love Quince.
Me too.
So much. We love it so much. So here's something that I'm really looking forward to as the weather turns cooler, football games, pumpkin spice lattes, all of the cozy things. You get to slip into a nice new cozy sweater from Quince. Quince is known for their Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50. And it's not just that. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. That includes beautiful leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim, and so much more. How are they able to do that, you ask?
How?
By partnering directly with top factories and cutting out the cost of the middleman, which passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And of course, premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel in every piece. I love my Quince fisherman sweater. It's honestly my favorite sweater. Not only is it the cutest, it is also the coziest, warmest, perfect for fall weather. Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/ideas for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/ideas to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/ideas. Broad Ideas is supported by Article. How much do we love Article?
So much. My couch is Article.
I know, your green velvet couch, and I still love it so much.
So much.
And you've had it for years. And it's so comfy and still so pretty.
I know. Beautiful.
My favorite desk is Article. I have outdoor furniture that's Article that has lasted and looks so good.
My coffee table's Article too.
Yeah, so many Article items. Because they go so easily in the house, they're so cute. It's because they're a curated assortment of mid-century modern, coastal, industrial, Scandinavian, boho. I mean, they have it all, so they make furniture shopping simple. Article's team of designers, they're all about finding the perfect balance between style, quality, and price. Article offers fast, affordable shipping across the US and Canada. Plus, they won't leave you waiting around. You pick the delivery time, and they'll send you updates every step of the way. This is so helpful.
It is.
Article's knowledgeable customer care team is there when you need them to make sure your experience is smooth and stress-free. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/broad, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/broad for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Well, yeah, I think the bottom line is none of us know.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
people that claim to, and that's when I think my skeptic mind comes in, and I'm like, we don't know. We all have our own thoughts and beliefs. Help me with this one. So a friend of mine the other day was in this situation, and someone's like, you know who you need? You need this person, okay? She's like, how in the hell am I going to get to that person? It's like some big deal human, right? She's like,
Charlie XCX.
yeah. Let's say Charlie XCX, okay? And she's like, how am I going to get Charlie XCX? SCX?
XCX, yeah.
XCX. And
I bet her real name is like Gwendolyn Shapiro or something. But anyway.
good one. Yeah. So she was like, yeah. And everyone's like, yeah, but she's not available anymore. Nobody can get her. It's a thing. So my friend goes and she's sharing at some like conference saying, I need help with this thing. This woman she's never met comes up to her and goes, what do you need help with? And she tells her, this is what I need help with. And she goes, I know, everybody's telling me I need Charlie SCX. And SCX?
XCX.
XCX. I'm dyslexic, so it jumbles me.
Oh, well, that's going to be a real trigger.
Yeah. And she goes, oh, that's who you need? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I'm her mom.
Oh, wow.
What?
I'm her mom. In a field, sharing this in a room that has absolutely nothing to do with Charlie XCX.
You got it.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
I'm going, it's the algorithm.
Or, so a couple things.
Please,
Algorithm.
do. Help.
Couple things. Like, or it's just an unbelievable statistical anomaly. It's those 1 in a million moments that I don't think is like less magic. Like when magicians do magic, right?
It's sick.
It's amazing. And they'll tell you I'm not doing magic. But what's actually amazing is anyone who's a great magician, and my friend, I'm friends with this guy who's a top of his field magician. He has spent 1 million hours memorizing cards, perfecting these card tricks. He has an encyclopedic knowledge of, his name's David Kwong. Part of his act is to make a crossword puzzle in front of you. So the whole time he's keeping track of all these crossword puzzles. Meanwhile, he's building in clues to the crossword puzzle. So the fact that his brain works like that and the fact that he trained his brain to be like that, to me is as magical as if it were divinely inspired. So like that statistical anomaly is like, that feels even that just like feels magical. My other question is, so like, I don't know the specifics, but like, so she said, I need this person. And then she was at a conference for something unrelated. But like, we know how like socioeconomic backgrounds work. Like if this is a bunch of like upper middle class or upper class, like rich white ladies.
It's not. No.
So that's like another thing is like,
no, it's actually not. It's something that holds a room of people that come from absolutely nothing to everything.
To everything though. Like, is everyone in that room rich?
No.
You're saying it runs the gamut.
No, I'm saying it comes from people just getting out of like jail.
Well, that's fucking crazy.
I know.
That's the thing is like, I guess
don't
like
know.
that's where I'm like, yeah.
I mean, her mom.
Yeah, it's really
You're
weird.
just like, that's
really fucking weird.
Dead on, you know? I don't know either. None of us know. I'm just like you, open to having my mind blown. I want it blown.
I think the evidence-based part of me is like, that's amazing. What are the odds? Probably 1 in a million. That's amazing. And then but the part of me that is, if you could prove to me that yeah, that's a sign of an algorithm.
Yeah.
I mean, like also, you know, a lot of people think that we're living in a simulation.
Yeah.
Which isn't even like woo as much as a weird,
more
kind of
terrifying.
science stick.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I err towards the skeptical side because I so want the other thing to be true. I have such a high bar.
Right.
But like, yeah, I don't know shit. We don't know.
None of us do.
98% of the universe is made of dark matter. We don't know what dark matter is.
Right.
We don't know shit.
Right. I agree.
I'm like a practical atheist, theoretical agnostic.
Yeah.
And I think every person who's a scientific brain is that you're open to being proven wrong.
I think that
Open to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
I think having that is the most important thing.
That's the scariest thing to me is if whatever belief system someone has, that they're not open to being proven wrong.
Right.
I mean, this is a thing about organized religion is that organized religion is based in texts that were written thousands of years ago.
Sure.
You cannot prove them wrong. So.
Yeah. I think that for me, sometimes I think that I can be a little skeptical, but I'll hold on to certain beliefs out of comfort. And I'm like, I don't really care if I'm right or wrong. It gives me comfort. And I'm in this world, in this scary existence. So if that brings me a little comfort, who cares?
That's also.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I've been going through this where it's like, who's it hurting? Like I used to be, and still am kind of pretty anti-horoscope. Sorry. I know that's a very
controversial comment.
Controversial. but like also, who's it hurting? It's like if people want to do horoscope, fine. And I understand there's a big human history thing with horoscopes. I get it. Am I going to rail against horoscopes anymore? No, like it's fine. Like,
yeah, I feel like I do lean a little more like I definitely have skepticism like in me, but I also have a crazy belief system and I manifest without like really putting energy towards it, right? So like there is that side of me, but I also have skepticism. But then I have like, and horoscopes, yes. But then I have this woman who reads your charts and it's all based on astrological signs. And that experience has been mind-blowing because of how much she can see in the charts by birth date, place, time, whatever. But I'm always questioning it. Like how? And how do you know that? What?
I wanted to tell you something Candy had told me.
What?
That she got me my chart done.
Yeah.
And she kept saying songwriting to me. And I was like, no, I don't write songs. And she's like, I see you working with songwriters. And I was like, I don't work with songwriters.
And now you're
I'm working with songwriters.
Oh my God.
But like that just hit within the year she said it was going to.
Yeah.
Weird.
So then you're open to being proven wrong, right? Yeah. So
she said, give me your number.
Yeah. Get your chart read.
I've had charty stuff read.
Yeah. What sign are you?
Aries. Here's what I'll say is I follow.
When's your birthday?
April 3rd. I follow a lot of what Aries is, especially as a kid. Like there was a while that I had a pet theory that we're all born close to our astrological sign. And then as we get older, our experiences change us, because I used to be an Aries and I still very much am. But also if you look at any other sign, I also follow those.
Sure.
But also that's the argument of horoscopes, is that, like, you know, they've done experiments where they hand a group of people a horoscope and they're like, this is your personalized horoscope. And okay, raise your hand if this was dead on. And everyone raises their hand. And it's like, you all got the same. You all got the same one.
Yeah.
Right? Because so many horoscopes, especially the daily ones, are like, everyone thinks you're outgoing, but really you have a really introverted side. That's just human. That's just human nature. We're all performing existence. And really, most of us just want to be home on the couch, zoning out on our phones. So it's like, I don't know. It's always like, okay, is that true to everyone? How true is that to me? My friend and I, years ago, we got was it palm reader? We got tarot. And I remember the tarot reader, she was saying some interesting things. She was saying, I don't know, I forget. But she looked at me and she goes, do you want children? And I said, maybe. And she goes, okay, well, no big deal. But there are 3 souls out there that want you to be their mom. And I was like, Jesus, okay. And then my friend who wanted kids was like, well, what about me? Are you seeing kids for me? And the tarot reader was like, no, I'm not. No one's jumping out. And of course, my friend has a child.
Of course.
I have 1 child. So like, I haven't had anything happen with
Your
a psychic.
skepticism has been proven more correct.
It's been proven more correct than not. And the one time that it did feel really bespoke and specific, this woman knew who in advance who I was trying to contact.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what keeps driving you to go?
Because I want it to be true.
I know. I do too.
Here's my biggest issue with psychics and whatnot, and why I'm always hesitant. I don't want the negative shit. I don't want to go to a psychic and then be like, you're going to die. Or like, this person's going to die. It's like, I don't want more fear pumped into my system.
Do they do that?
I mean, they'll like read shit, and there's definitely people that will tell you things that are just hard to hear or whatever. I'm not seeking that. I don't want that. I don't want that in my space. Whether it's true or not, that is my biggest issue. And I don't know how you differentiate. Like, is this psychic going to be negative and like say things that are fear-based and scary? Or
because even if it's
gentle?
not true, even if they're a hack, right?
Right.
And they say things that are fear-based, then then it fucks with your brain.
Of course.
I think also this stuff is so, I guess like where I'm at is the brain is so interesting to me, and the power of placebo effect is so, placebo effect is fascinating.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. And placebo effect is almost more interesting to me than energy, spiritual stuff, because it's stuff that is our brain is doing, but we don't know how it does it. So that mystery is almost so interesting. I don't need to go spiritual because I'm like, whoa, I mean, how does the brain even work? That's crazy that people have been able to cure themselves. Like, let's take out like a ghost coming in and curing them. Let's just talk about, even if it is placebo effect, that's amazing.
Right.
What is that? You know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I don't care if it's placebo or not. I'm like, as long as my brain is buying into it and I'm seeing a result as a result of it, cool.
It kind of doesn't matter, right?
It does not matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right. I get that.
I am going to go see two psychics. So I have a meeting with an intuitive on Monday, and then I have a meeting in 2 weeks with a psychic medium.
So, right, on the spectrum, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like intuitive, psychic, medium, right? And the mediums are the ones who are most kind of connected?
I think the mediums are the ones that are supposed to be able to connect with people who have passed.
That medium we spoke, Jonathan, like there were things that were like right on. Like he channeled like my grandpa, and he was a jokester, and he's like making jokes. Now again, right? Like maybe.
Yeah, like it's like grandpa was a jokester. It's like most people's grandpas
are jokesters.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he did know about my dad, and I went and did a deep dive afterwards because my dad was killed by a police officer.
Oh my God.
And he, in that meeting that we did with him, I went through all my Instagram, all my Facebook, all the things to make sure there was no sign of my dad before we did the meeting. And he was like, I see a gun. I see this. I see that. Like, he saw all these things.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And we were like.
And that information was nowhere online. Did you give your real name?
I could not.
Wow.
I couldn't find it anywhere online. So I don't know.
And we had been doing the podcast because you've talked about it on the podcast.
I talked about it since.
Yeah, but not before.
Wow. First of all, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
But also, yeah. I mean, then I hear that. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, a friend told me a story. So a lot of ghost sightings are right before people go to sleep or when they wake up. And because I had this thing when I was little, I get very skeptical of like spirit sightings before sleep or after sleep because I'm like, your brain does crazy sleep things. Yeah. But I have some friends who have stories where they're not asleep. It's in the middle of the day and I'm like, yep, that's weird.
Right.
That's a weird, like, I have a friend who it was night, but she was in a cabin somewhere and she literally felt a voice whisper next to her like, I can see you. And a little girl had like died at that camp or something. And it wasn't.
Little girl ghosts are always the scariest.
I know child ghosts are so weird. But
So
like,
weird.
Look, I'm like, I mean,
probably.
could she have been jet lagged from travel? Sure. But also like, I don't know. Or that's weird.
Do you know what happens to me? Okay, I've never like said this before and it's kind of random and I don't even know if it means anything. But I will just have random, out of nowhere, a moment will pop into my head with somebody I haven't seen of or spoken to in 40 years or whatever. And it's so vivid and it just like like it comes in. And in my head, I'm like, did something just happen to that person? Or like I get like these weird flashes, or maybe everybody does this. No? Oh, okay. I thought maybe it happens to everybody. But I'll have such specific moments just popping out of nowhere for no reason. And so I'm trying to understand like what that means.
So in this book I'm listening to, in the book Signs, she talks about this one guy who he's like on a fishing trip or something and his whole body just gets this kind of like, and this ended up being her doctor and he told her this story. His whole body got this like electric shock and he just felt his dad and he was like, that was weird, whatever. He gets off the trip and he calls his mom. She had been calling him and she's like, your dad died.
Oh
and
my
he was
God.
like, what time? What time? And turned out it was the same exact time he got that feeling. And so he never told anyone his whole life because he was a doctor. He was science. He was like, this shit doesn't happen. I think the book is, I don't know. I just feel like.
And then I hear stories like that and that shit's wild. I'm you know, my
we're
friend,
not here to trick
my
you.
friend,
into-
no, my friend who's a medium, she wrote a book and I'm reading it. And she has, it hasn't come out yet, but she has things in it of things like that where I'm like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
can't
love hearing all of the
I can't
stories.
poke holes in that. Like,
Right.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I used to have to like know. And I used to have like a fear of the afterlife weirdly. Like I swing wildly in different directions. Like I was very pro afterlife. And then there was a while where I went through kind of a religion panic where I was like, if there's an afterlife, it means that Catholicism is right. And I'm wrong because ghosts are purgatory. And if purgatory is real, then it means I'm going to hell.
Right.
So I used to like kind of use skepticism as like an anchor to be like, no, my fear of hell isn't warranted because none of it exists. I'm not in that place anymore where I'm like, for the first time in my life, I kind of could go either way. I just still have a high bar. But when I hear stories, I'm like, yeah, that's crazy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why I think you're going to have an answer to this, but I'm curious what your answer is. So, my kid has to go under anesthesia for a dental procedure, right? That scares the fucking shit out of me.
It's so scary.
It's terrifying. Both kids do. One of which is the one that was in the NICU, health issues, a little scary, right? Just booked the appointment yesterday. I'm like, okay, book the appointment. We're going to do it. Driving here, listening to that book, Signs, she tells this story about this kid. And his name's Caleb, and he's this beautiful soul. And as she's saying it, I'm like, I can feel Shepherd. Like, he feels like my son named Shepherd. And then she goes, he grew an extra tooth. Shepherd has a shark tooth right now.
Oh my gosh, I used to have that.
She goes, he grew an extra tooth, and he had to go under a dental procedure. And he had to go under general anesthesia, and he died. And I'm going, I literally voice noted my husband. I'm like, we need to cancel the appointment.
Holy shit.
I don't feel right. I'm freaking out. Like, in that situation, I'm like, is this not a sign for me to not put him under?
God.
As a mom, what do you do if that information
Jesus
came
Christ.
to you?
I mean, I fear my daughter dying all the time.
That is a very normal
Like,
thing.
so, you know, I guess if I were to go with my gut of my fears of her, she'd be in the house. I mean, every time there's a news about a school shooting, I'm like,
oh my God.
all you can do is think about your child, right?
100%.
So I get it.
Yeah.
And also, I guess if I fall down the rabbit hole of what are the signs out there that my daughter's in danger, there are signs in the news every day
Oh my God.
that my daughter's in danger.
Well, that 100%.
So, I mean, that's so specific to you.
I know.
It's so
I get it.
specific. I said
get
to
it.
her, I said, look, do I think he'd be fine? Yes. But this is speaking to a fear you're having, and it's not worth agonizing over what if.
I don't know if, First of all, I had like 8 teeth pulled and it was all local anesthesia. And this was in the mid 90s. So maybe, I guess they put kids under general now, but like I have visceral memories of being awake for all of my teeth being pulled. I don't wish that on your child, but like I know what it feels like to have a tooth pulled.
You could feel it.
No, you feel pressure.
You
So
feel
they know
pressure
they're kicking me
and
up.
the pull, yeah.
But like I want to say I had like 8 teeth pulled in one sitting.
Whoa.
And I
Were
remember
you traumatized?
I remember the nurse would jiggle my cheek, and then it was a ton of pressure.
It's the pressure. Yeah.
And then you hear your tooth, and then you taste your blood. And then I had my wisdom teeth out, and I was put under for that.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm like, does it have to be general? But also, look, the anxiety you're gonna get if you keep that appointment right now.
That's what I was
might not
saying.
be worth it for your mental health.
Right.
You might be that 2 hours might be
That
so
was my point.
agonizing.
Yeah.
If you
Like,
can
is
push
it-
the appointment, why not?
Yeah.
But it's to fill cavities, right?
Elliot, they need to pull 4 teeth. And for Shepherd, they need to fill like 6 cavities or something like that.
And it's
I
just,
will
I guess it's
say-
hard to do on a kid.
He's
Yes.
got special needs. He's like not like
He won't.
he's
You have it's a
5,
kid that you have to like
you
hold.
got it.
You know.
He's not going to sit there
No.
like I did and just, they'll
Take
be like,
it.
you'll get, like literally we still have it somewhere. I'd gotten all these teeth pulled and my mom was like, how are you feeling? And I was writing down because I couldn't talk and I wrote, I'm fine, give me $sign. Because I didn't promise like $20.
Yeah, that's great.
But he's not going to be pacified by
no,
$20.
maybe laughing.
I will.
less.
But kids' cavities are way less involved than adult cavities.
Also,
Like,
aren't
it's
those
quicker.
teeth just going to fall out?
That's
That
what
was
I kept
always,
saying.
but they always fight you on it.
Because this is my husband fights me on flossing her a little bit, where he's like, I'm like, the dentist said to floss, and he goes, well, these
gonna
teeth
fall
are falling
out.
out. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're an ass.
You
Yeah.
floss your kids' teeth.
Sometimes, yeah. My dentist has told me I need to.
Oh, you're a rule follower.
Yes.
Wow.
So this is because I like to know what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
I love experts telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Like I told my therapist when we started working together, so another thing that happened in 2021 was my psychiatrist of 8 years died in a surfing accident.
What?
What the hell is
It was
going on?
So he was the guy I tried to contact through this
the
other
second
psychic.
time? Yeah.
So when I got my new therapist, so the thing that I had with my psychiatrist was he was a psychiatrist, but also a little life coachy, which I love.
Yeah.
And so I said to my therapist, I was like, boss me around. Give me homework.
Yes.
Tell me what to do. You're the one who studied this. I haven't.
Right.
So I like systems, but also I mistrust systems. There's a lot going on in this noggin that I'm still working out. Like I really swing to these extremes.
Yeah.
And part of my life journey, I guess, but also part of my writing is navigating these two extremes and like putting extremes together. Like I do comedy pop songs.
Yeah.
Those are two extremes put together. It's the extreme of sexiness and femininity put together with observations about my life, which are like the opposite of feminine and pretty and hot. So I like when opposites are forced to be in the same room.
Yeah. I like anything that misleads you. Like where you think you're getting one thing and then you get the like
I'm
that
such a slut for that. Yes. Where it's like, oh, you think you're gonna get the thing? Like,
yes.
Did you ever see the movie The Cabin in the Woods?
Oh, I think I did.
This is like how.
I'm
So this movie, it's like it's a
really
horror,
good.
It's amazing, and I think it should have won an Oscar. And I'm such a whenever I meet anyone from
really
Drew
good
Goddard's
one.
company, I'm like, oh my god, Cabin in the Woods, because it's a movie that starts out like a horror movie, but it's actually a deconstruction of horror movies, and it becomes something you never thought it was going to be. I fucking
live for
love
that shit.
I'm like, I get like wet.
I'm trying to remember it.
No, I
but yeah,
feel
that's
you
the thing.
But it's that
100%.
style of movie. And also like, I mean, it's why I loved Promising Young Woman.
Yeah.
Because it's like that it starts out in this place and then it extrapolates and goes to places
so cool.
you never expect.
This is my favorite thing in life.
Yeah.
Same with humans.
Yeah.
Like a human that is so misleading when you think, oh my God, I thought I was going to get something so different.
I've had my experience.
I love
with that.
That's his it's like half and half. Like there's something about people who zig when you think they're going to zag that are really interesting, and then also those people can be really toxic.
Yeah, true.
And have a lot of issues.
True.
Yeah.
True.
It is interesting in humans, like how completely opposite and like such a crazy pivot, like a movie. You're just like, you don't see it coming. And then
we all contain like these beautiful multitudes.
Yeah.
Which is why a horoscope that's like, you seem happy, but actually you're sad is like, that's like all of us. We're all really complicated.
Happy and sad at
because
the same time.
they assume like I feel like there's a part of us, I know as an only child, I feel this, where it's like, I'm the only person and everyone else is a robot who is just created because I'm in some sort of like Truman Show reality show. This isn't something I believe, but it's definitely something as a kid that I was like, is this even real? Or am I just in a perpetual dream? And everyone around me is fiction. We all see ourselves as the lead of our story.
Yeah.
And because we only know really at the end of the day, like what's in our head.
Right. Well, there's whole theories on that's actually what's happening.
Right.
That we're just all figments of one imagination and that we're the main character and you're all fake. This is all fake. This is all just my imagination.
And I feel like this is also really leaked into like the internet. I feel like on TikTok, it's big to talk about like non-player characters.
Yeah.
I feel like video game culture and like role-playing game culture has really expanded to where we're thinking about our lives like we're in these games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of well, it's also goes to there's all these theories on the multi-dimensional universe too. And we're just in the dimension based on the choice we chose at the time, but that all those other choices are still being lived in different dimensions.
The thing that my husband and I are obsessed with, do you remember the Berenstain Bears thing a couple years ago? He and I are obsessed with it.
Wait, the thing?
Theory? What?
That have you ever heard of the Mandela effect?
Yes.
So remember a couple years ago on the internet, it was like, in your head, how are you spelling the Berenstain Bears?
Right.
So like in my head, it's Berenstein because I remember my dad making a joke that they were Jewish. where
Right.
he was like, oh, they're just like us. It's Bernstein.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
It's Bernstain. So this is the Mandela effect theory
Yeah.
that at some point, people like me who remember it as EIN, we switched dimensions. That I was in one dimension with the EIN and now I'm in the AIN dimension. And I gotta say, I called my parents.
I got so into it for a minute. We got into it. Do you remember?
I love
You didn't
Mandela
watch
effect
the
shit.
stuff? Me too.
Oh, it's
I love it.
And I called my parents actually a couple of years ago and I went, how do you spell Berenstain? And they were like, AIN. And I was like, bullshit. Because I remember you making jokes. It was EIN. They're like, no, we never did that.
Oh my God.
I'm in the wrong dimension.
I'm in the wrong dimension.
I should be
with
in
you.
the AIN.
Yeah. There's so
I should
many.
be in the EIN. I switched. And somewhere AIN self is in the EIN. And she's going, no. It's AIN.
But there were so many. What were some other examples? There were so many.
Well, it's based on that a bunch of people remember hearing in the 80s about Nelson Mandela died in prison.
Yeah.
And the argument is they're conflating the news about someone else dying in an apartheid prison
Right.
with Nelson Mandela. But that's where it started, is these mass false memories. Another example is Shazam. A bunch of people claim to remember, and I don't remember this, that there's a movie called Shazam with Sinbad where he plays a genie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was never a movie.
What?
Stop
There's
it.
a movie called Kazam where Shaquille O'Neal plays a genie.
No.
Oh
Sinbad
my God.
never played a genie.
No, he
No.
100% played a genie.
This is a
Because
whole
he
thing.
did.
He did.
He
Because he
absolutely did.
And you know he did too, because you're in the wrong dimension.
I like.
What?
Here's the thing. I don't remember the movie Shazam. The sight of
don't.
Sinbad in a genie
Yeah.
costume feels comforting to me.
Feels right.
But I think I'm conflating it with Kazam, because Kazam I remember.
I don't remember Kazam.
No.
I don't remember.
I remember
Kazam.
Sinbad.
There was more.
100%.
What other ones are there? There's like the Wheaties thing, or like
What's the logo of Fruit of the Loom? Do you picture
Oh,
a cornucopia of fruit, or do
Yes.
you? No, it's just fruit.
What?
It's not a cornucopia. It's just fruit.
Wait.
no. These
Yeah.
are fucked
Does
up.
Mr. Peanut have a monocle?
Yes.
I want to say he doesn't.
I think he does.
So do I.
So
But he
what
doesn't?
The heck is
So what is that?
I don't fucking know.
What fucking is
I don't
that?
know. I don't know.
what? I love that we're coming to you. Like you're supposed to
You're
have this
God.
answer.
I don't know.
You need to give us all the answers.
The answer is like it's false memory. Am I misremembering my parents saying EIN? I could be misremembering that. I guess I could. Like,
Collective false memory.
yeah.
Or you've been gaslighted so much that you just second guess everything you remember.
Like, have you ever heard of the Fatima miracle?
No, what's that?
Oh, I mean, this is a whole. If we're talking about collective
Oh, great. I'm
hallucination. I want to say in a village in Italy, in around like, I'm gonna butcher this, but it was like early 1900s. These kids claimed to be communicating with Our Lady of Fatima, which is, I don't know if it's the Virgin Mary or if it's another saint lady. I'm not up on my Catholicism. But anyway, they were like, at this precise moment, a miracle will occur. And thousands of people gathered, including reporters. And they claim they saw the sun come close to the earth and then spin around and then go back into the sky. I think it's in Spain.
Okay.
Thousands of people claim to have seen this. However, if the sun got as close to the earth as these people are describing, the earth would have burned up.
Right.
What the fuck?
What in the fuck?
What the fuck? So one argument is, well, if you have a bunch of, so it was called the miracle of the sun.
Yeah.
And I think the kids predicted there would be a miracle of the sun. If you have a bunch of people staring at the sun,
You're going to
it
see
fucks
shit.
with your eyes and you're
really
going to see
does.
shit.
Yeah.
That's the argument. But a bunch of people, oh yeah, I think it's that it was raining outside. The sun got suddenly very close to the earth. Everyone dried up and then the sun spun around.
I mean,
I could be butchering this, but
No, but the point is the point.
yeah,
the point is we have
collective.
Yes.
But either way, isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Collective false memory is
huge.
so interesting.
Yeah.
I want to Google Sinbad so bad as a genie.
No, there was so many of them that I'm like, I remember it being this way. There's not a chance.
when you're like, I know I'm right.
But memory is so faulty. Like
it's so faulty.
there are I think it was like a This American Life story where someone was talking about a situation where he saw Paul McCartney on the street with his wife. And he's been sharing the story. And his wife was like, no, I only saw Paul McCartney. You weren't there with me that day. And he'd realized she just told the story so much to him, his brain had put him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't there.
Right.
It's fucking weird.
Fucking weird.
So weird.
Should we do some of those or no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
them because they're fun.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good question. Any examples of love bombing or being love bombed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last date I ever went on before I got together with my now husband, I was 20. I've been with my husband for almost 16 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm very basic. I'm very like
I fucking love
That's
it.
actually
I have
not
like
so
I have like a
basic.
color hair streak, and I'm just like I'm so crazy, but like I'm like I kind of have like Midwestern value. I don't know.
love it.
We've been together for a long time.
I love that.
The last date I went on was a guy. I was 22 and he was like in his late 30s, and we went on one date, and then on the date he was asking me if I wanted kids,
First date.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a red flag.
and we made out.
Right?
And he then kept texting me that he wanted me to come home. He wanted me to come to his house in Minnesota and meet his parents.
What?
That's
But then he was
That's
also a little bit
insane.
anti-Semitic in the text, where he was like, "My parents are like, oh, she's Jewish, LOL," and I'm like, I'm never speaking to you again.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess yes and no, like asking if you want kids on the first date, it kind of,
I mean, I did that with my husband. But I was 33
no,
years old and I needed to know because the clock was ticking.
So I was 21 and he was in his late 30s. He had just recovered, if I recall, from testicular cancer, and he had been engaged and had called it off. And this was his first date since recovering from cancer, I think.
This is
so what does that have to do with asking if you want kids?
I think he's like, bullshit's over. I want kids. I think I looked him up on Facebook a couple years ago and I saw that he did end up having kids.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. He wanted to settle down, and he wanted to settle down with me. And I was like, bro. And I was literally going off to Amsterdam for a theater program. So I was like, I'm a dip. I mean, I didn't say that because that wasn't a thing back then.
No, please say that.
But let's just say I said, I'm a dip.
That is.
And then I said, skibbity dibbity toilet, right?
Skibbity
Oh.
dibbity toilet.
Yep.
I have to listen to that on the drive to school. A song.
So it's just
There's a
that
song.
song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone, they all play it.
But they break down everything into like, oh, he's got mad skibbity riz and like,
Oh, God, yeah.
Skibbity riz.
Skibbity riz. My son told me the other day that he was teaching his friend the ways of riz. And I was like, well, don't you have to learn them
that's
first?
just swag. Oh, right, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
I was like,
9
you're
or whatever.
teaching it?
Yeah.
No 9-year-old has riz.
My 5-year-old has fucking riz
Okay.
He really
like
does.
a motherfucker. Like he walks in a room and you're like, oh, it's Shepherd's World. We're just living.
Yeah.
in it.
So he should be teaching the skibbity.
I was like,
Skibbity
you
riz
should
course.
teach-
Shep is
Yeah.
Riz. Yes.
He is Riz. Okay. If you were going to start your own nudist colony,
Oh.
what would be the rules?
Oh. Carry a towel. I think that's actually the rules of a nudist colony. I think you
Is
have to
it?
carry a towel everywhere. Yeah. Just 'cause-
Why?
So that you don't get your juices on things. And
Oh, I
Oh,
see.
so you sit down like on a couch.
If you sit down-
you want to put a towel.
I would have the whole place would be with those, Thermacell makes mosquito,
yeah.
those mosquito
Oh, yeah,
Thermacell things because I get bitten very easily.
Mhm.
So I'd have Thermacells everywhere.
Yep.
So people
Practical.
wouldn't get bitten in their buttholes.
That's really kind
Yeah,
of you.
that's really kind of you.
And I think just like try to like don't be I think if you have if the men get boners, go off conceal your
Go
boner.
off, King. No.
That no one you know what? It's that if men get boners, they shouldn't be shamed, but they should tend to it in private.
In private.
But what's the difference? Like if a guy gets a boner, if everybody's naked versus if a guy gets a boner and we're all clothed, it's weird either way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boners are weird.
Boners are private. They feel very private to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just whatever's going on with the boner, no judgment, but
Privacy,
this is not
please.
for me.
Right. Like just because you're naked, we don't want to see you, poop.
Oh.
I think that's another nice rule.
That's
That's
I
to be
also
private.
every bathroom bidets.
bidet.
100.
I would say mandatory bidet when you
100%.
poop at my nudist
100%.
colony.
Wait.
What'd you call it?
Oh.
No one's ever asked you this, have they?
No.
No. This is real.
Mashed potatoes.
No gravy.
Yeah,
at the
bring
end of
it
the day,
back. Full circle.
All our bodies are just filled with mashed potatoes. That's what it looks like.
That's it.
Yeah.
We were talking about boners. So what would you do if you had a dick for a day?
Great question.
Oh, I'd stick it in everything.
Mashed potatoes.
I was actually Googling. I'm not Googling. I was on Reddit because I was like, "What is the difference between a male orgasm and female orgasm?"
Good
and
question.
and there were people on there who were trans, who were talking about, male, female, female to male, like what their orgasms are like pre-hormones, post-hormones. The consensus seems to be that a woman's orgasm is more full body and longer, and that a man's is localized and maybe more intense in the crotch, but shorter.
Interesting.
That's kind of how it presents.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that totally tracks.
Because they go, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No,
Like,
they don't
I
feel
need
it.
to-
Like they
to
don't feel it.
rewind that.
Like I feel it in like my butthole and stuff,
Yeah.
or like in my butt, or like I don't know if they're feeling it
Like
as much
everywhere.
like the entrance to their.
Yeah, you're just
butthole.
saying it's locally, literally like,
Just coming out there.
Yeah.
it's just. Pew.
Yeah.
yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
solid information.
it does make sense. But you haven't you experienced like men, like full body shakes and whatnot?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or men having it.
Men, I'm saying you have experienced with men is what I was saying. Yeah.
Oh, men having full body shakes.
Yeah.
I've been with one guy for 16 years, so
Wait, you've had men orgasm and just be like, oh, like
I mean,
full
that's a
body,
little
like,
extreme.
show us what it looks like.
I'm not going to show you.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So I think maybe.
Oh, like the sex quakes?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So that's a thing.
I don't know if it's a thing.
I'm not saying like every time you're experiencing,
I don't know. It feels like that description is more accurate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I thought it was like seeking out the people who were on hormones, who were going through
Interesting.
gender transition, was like, oh, these are actually like, yeah, this is the best we'll have with,
Right.
like comparisons,
Right. No, it's really interesting.
and that it's a hormonal thing
right.
That's interesting.
because it's like taking testosterone, taking estrogen changes your orgasm.
That's so
Wow.
weird. So it's not that they physically hit a
Right.
different G spot or that the like clitoris versus
It
the
wasn't
penis.
clear if someone had like bottom surgery, like, so I don't know, but I thought it was really, the testimonials are really interesting.
That is
That's
interesting.
fascinating.
Very fascinating.
Your turn.
Oh, is it?
Oh no, what's your ideal bedtime?
I'm feeling sleepy. I'm doing a crossword puzzle.
Love that.
I've just taken a bath, and I can't keep my eyes open with the crossword puzzle anymore. So I just go to sleep.
What time is that?
My ideal bedtime is like 11:30, but it needs to be, I try to make it more like 10:30 because I have
Yeah.
a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
What is that, early or late?
Late.
Like,
Yeah.
if you could trade lives with any celebrity for a day, who would you pick?
Oh boy. For a day.
Yeah. Just a day.
Oh, Tom Cruise, because I want to see what's going on with Scientology.
Ooh,
I want to
that's
find
brilliant.
out. I want to find out where Shelley Miscavige is.
Yes. Yes.
And then I get all the perks of Tom Cruise restaurant. I can go to any restaurant I want.
you could do wild
I'm
stunts.
worshipped. I'm worshipped like a god. So
Yeah.
I get all the thing of being super famous. Plus, I get to find out mysteries.
Oh,
Dope. That's
Good
a really
answer.
good answer.
Great answer. Great, like conversation. I was gonna say interview. Didn't feel like
That's not
interview.
an interview.
No, conversation. Sorry.
No, it's a conversation.
Yeah. This
In
was great.
closing, what is your weirdest turn on?
Yeah. Well, I definitely like I'll watch porn of like guys jerking off.
Oh,
That if I were to see it in life, it would be traumatizing.
Mm-hmm.
But in porn, it's fine.
Interesting.
Of guys just jerking off to the camera.
Right.
that's great.
But it's like removed if it's on the
I don't
computer.
know. There's just something about it that I really like. But again, I don't have a fetish for seeing that in real life. Like I'm
Yeah.
not, because that's scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Porn
Because
and
that man wants
fantasy
to
are
hurt
different.
me.
It's totally different than reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a guy in his car on a lunch break. You can kind of see a Carl's Jr. bag in the corner. And he's just fucking jacking it, you know?
The Carl's Jr.
He's just on a break and he just needed to relax and
Yeah. He just needed, he needed a minute.
not particularly well groomed.
Sure.
Okay.
Just
I like
any
the
guy.
details. The details are important.
This is not an invitation for people to send me.
No, it's not.
It's the point is that
not.
it's me choosing.
Yeah.
Me getting sent this would actually be
Right.
the opposite. It would be
Completely.
very traumatizing.
Yes.
It's me seeking it out.
Right.
You know, a friend of ours went and we were all meeting up and one of our friends was waiting in the car for him and he went to the car and was like, they're ready for us. What are you doing? He's like, I'm just watching porn. So he was just having like a little porn moment by himself in the car.
What?
What?
Who? What?
Well, I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But yeah,
Was he
I believe he
pleasuring
was-
himself?
I believe maybe just a little and was like,
Just passing
just a
time.
little?
just a little like passing the time, catching a little. Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is happening in real time with real people.
And Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
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 Well, I think on that note,
We did it.
the name of your special.
Is death let me do my special?
Mm.
I knew that, but the audience needs
I'll say
to
it.
know.
October 15th. Death let me do my special.
Netflix.
Netflix.
Awesome. Very excited.
So excited.
Yes. Thank you, Rachel. This
Thank you for
was-
having me.
Yeah.
Thank
this
you
was
for
great.
being here.
What a delight.
How was the full moon for you?
So it was full last night, right? So my mom, we were driving and she's like, is it a full moon? And she always knows normally.
Yeah.
It was very bright, very pretty. How was it for you?
You know what you just did?
What?
You just answered the question as if you knew that's what I was going to ask. It was kind of like,
Scoop.
yes.
Little inside thing that we have going on.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It was Olivia's birthday.
It's true.
Sorry, I didn't let you answer about the full moon, how it was for you.
I didn't see it, but I felt it.
What?
What does it feel like?
No, you didn't see it because you were just in your house and didn't see it when the moon was up.
Yeah, I wasn't outside past dark.
Got it.
I was tired.
Okay, but you felt it.
I felt it.
How did it feel? You felt it in your period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get agitated with full moons. It's like PMS symptoms before a
Yes.
full moon.
Even if you're not PMSing.
Correct.
Interesting.
How do you feel about it when people say correct?
You say it a lot.
I know. So we ran into this guy, Jeff and I, and we had a great conversation with him. And he said correct a lot. He was like, that guy says correct a lot. And I said, I believe I do that too. He's like, no, you don't. I was like, I think I do.
You do. You do here.
And then I realized everybody does.
I do? I don't that much.
You don't think so? Leah does
Does she?
all the time. I'll be like, so you're upset because your mom got food without you. Correct.
I can hear her doing that.
Right?
Yes.
Can you try it and let's see how it feels? Rachel, are you going to be there at 2:00?
I don't feel like it works. That
Okay.
was a question.
Okay. So you're mad at Leah because she forgot your birthday.
Correct.
That feels right. I think you do it.
I don't do it as much as you do it.
Oh, so it's like a tick?
You definitely do it a lot.
Oh my God. I knew it when I heard him doing it. I was like, I relate to him
I feel like you do it more like in here.
in this actual room.
Yes, correct.
Do you think you're going to start doing it?
Correct. Yeah, I do. I mean, I do it, but I can hear you doing it more. Does that make sense?
Correct.
That's how you do it. We'll see in our interview today. I wonder how many times you did it in the Rachel interview. People, let us know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we all do it.
Correct. You had a birthday, and I really need to know something. And I'm asking her on here because did you exchange the sweater that had marks on it?
No, I just took a little towel and got them out.
Oh, they came out?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a bleach stain?
No.
Great. Okay. And do you love
I thought
it?
driving all the way to the store and returning
It's really not far.
It's not, but neither is the laundry room or
And it came out.
Yeah.
Great.
I've worn it every day.
You have?
Yeah, I'm not going to wear anything else.
Oh, great.
Why would I wear anything else?
I know. I mean, I agree.
If you had to wear one thing for the rest of your life.
It would be a sweatsuit by the Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what's funny is that every time I see Emily and Merritt from the Great, I'm wearing the Great.
Yes.
Every time.
Did you point it out to them the other day?
Well, no, but
Or did they notice?
Someone commented on what I was wearing in front of them.
Oh.
And was like, I love your suit. And I was like, the Great. And they had a recognition in their face.
So we've recently gotten into mahjong.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
And it made me think of it because Emily was with us when we had our first lesson.
Yeah.
And I think we should keep it up. I now have mahjong tiles. I never thought I could be in love with a mahjong tile. I am in love with my mahjong tiles.
Well, did you
from
even
the mahjong
know
line?
They existed?
Well, I knew mahjong was the game, and I think I knew you played with tiles, but I didn't know like these ones existed.
Okay.
But we learned. Were you standing there when Kristen was telling us that American version
Yes.
is much more complicated?
What was the other version?
Well, she said Taiwanese.
I thought so. She said she would be down for that, but the American one was a little much.
It was harder.
Right?
We gotta look into it.
We got to look into it.
Guys, who's into this mahjong conversation?
What about spades, though? Have you actually played spades
No,
before?
I really am obsessed with cards, and I do want to be the person that like keeps a deck of cards in my purse. Like, I love that.
Yeah, what is that?
I take them with me always on a plane.
You do?
I do. They're in my carry-on.
What? This is new information.
Yeah, like I'll throw a deck of cards hoping that someone will play with me or teach me how to play something because I don't know how to play many things. I usually bribe Briar to play this one game that we both know called King's Corners because I love playing cards so much. I did try to teach myself solitaire, and I did it last time I worked and I was like on set. I taught myself, and that's what I was doing. But I forgot it already. But I want to teach myself again. I love a deck of cards.
How long have you been doing this?
Like a deck of cards in my carry-on?
Yeah, I feel like I don't even know you.
I don't know.
Does it predate Briar?
No.
Okay.
No. But that's 10 years.
Because I've traveled a lot with you and you've never once asked to play cards with me.
But like having them, my intention is to do so. But I know you don't know any games.
You don't know me.
Well, you play speed.
And spit.
And spit. All right, we could do that.
Have you ever played euchre?
No, but that's Jeff's game.
Yes, it's very complicated.
Okay, see, my brain starts to hurt.
The problem with us is we can't shut up long enough to do anything when we're together.
We just talk.
Talk.
We flew to Austin and like all we did was talk the entire time.
Yeah.
We had all the supplies for the plane.
A book, a magazine, never.
iPad
Nothing.
full of shows.
We can't do it. We can't even watch a show when we're together.
We can't even watch a show when we're together. We leave each other. We're together all day. And then, I know we say this, we call each other from the car.
Do you think it's codependent?
Are we codependent?
I don't think it's codependent.
So I need to like up my iPad with shows because I'm going to go on a long plane ride.
Yeah.
Someone recommended something last night.
Nobody wants this.
That I will watch and download. The Night Manager? I don't know. I'm going to look it up. It was recommended. I want like the only time I will actually sit down and like, not the only time, but when I'm on a plane,
yeah,
like a really good movie that I've never seen.
Oh, a good one.
Yes.
Mine has to be a rom-com.
See, I love that and we'll do that. But like the time where I'll be like, you know what? I know this is supposed to be a really good movie.
Never.
It has my undivided attention. I'm going to do it.
See, but I need to feel safety because I get so
know.
anxious. So it has to be like
light.
The last one I watched, that Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell movie.
Oh.
You know, like that's the airplane vibe.
There's a new movie on Netflix with like Laura Dern and Leah Hemsworth.
Oh, yeah. I'm
going to download that. That seems entertaining.
Yeah. Like I watched the Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron one.
Oh, how was it?
Loved it.
Great.
But I love those kind of movies.
Yeah. I do too. I'm a rom-com
connoisseur.
Are we friends?
No.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll download Nobody Wants This.
Yeah.
Because I am very like curious. I want to see.
Amazing.
Because we love so many people on that show.
So many people
There's
on
so
that
many
show.
people. I know. A lot of our people.
I know. It's a really good show.
Really good show.
It's a good one for a plane too.
A good one for a plane. I said really good show. I haven't seen it yet, but I imagine it's amazing.
It is.
This is my thing. I will not do a Kindle or whatever, so I have to have like an actual book, right?
Yeah.
I have so many that I want to bring because in my mind I'm like, I have so much time. I could like get through maybe 4 books.
Do you think you're going to do that with Nicole?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it's a longer plane ride, so it's probably not the same setup where like if we're flying to Austin, where you're like together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's a little more space on the plane.
There is something about Nicole that is very casual too, in the sense of like she's totally the kind of person you could be with and not feel like you have to talk to.
100%. I mean, we're like that too, but we just can't not talk.
We can't not talk.
Like we 100% could just be like, I'm going to read a book, but like we can't do that because we can't start talking.
What you reading?
Yeah.
What does it say?
I was reading something. I like underlined something and sent you a picture the other night.
What were you reading?
7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Okay.
It's been on my shelf for so long.
Fun.
And I had like 20 minutes. Briar was like playing with her friend and I started it. I have so many books though that I want to read that I have. So that's my problem is like how many to bring because it does take up space and it is heavy in your carry-on.
Do you ever listen to books?
No.
So this happened, you know about, where I was listening. I've had the book Signs.
Yeah.
For.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're listening to it.
I decided a couple weeks ago, I'm going to start listening to it.
Yeah.
And I would listen to it on the way here.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like listening to it one day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ugh. And there was a voice inside me that was like, don't pick up the phone. Don't call anyone. Just listen. You need to hear whatever you're going to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she starts talking about a little boy who's 5 years old, like Shepherd, who grew an extra tooth, like Shepherd just did. And they say the kid dies, right?
Yeah.
And then for going into a dental procedure, and since I had booked the day before Shepherd's dental procedure, I wanted to cancel. And went through this whole thing and whole anxiety, talked to the anesthesiologist, talked to the dentist. They think I'm fucking wackadoodle, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. He goes in for the procedure and everything was fine.
Right.
What do you make of that?
Right. So you're given this information where you're like, oh, well, clearly it's in signs and this is a sign, like this could happen. And so I'm going to take it and go the worst way with it. Or maybe it was just presenting something to you so you could get to the other side of it. Like it was putting it in front of you, like, I'm going to really affirm like all your fears right now. Mm-hmm. And your job is to, as a mother, get past those fears. Because I knew when you told us this, I said, I know he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I knew.
Yeah.
But I understand your fears. And I think deep down you knew he would be fine.
I don't think I did.
You did. You would not have done it.
I wouldn't have done
had
it.
it been
You're
an
right.
actual
You're right.
hit
You're right.
in your gut.
You're right.
Right. So that's the lesson.
But
That's
even
you're always
that-
telling everybody.
I know. It makes me want to cry.
Yeah. Instinct or gut.
Yeah.
Or intuition or gut
Having kids,
is horrible.
it's brutal.
It's brutal.
The
I know.
fear you walk through.
The fear every day. I know. I haven't been away from Briar for more than like a night or 2 nights since she was 3 years old. I know. And I'm going to be away from her for like 5 nights. And I have anxiety about it.
Of course.
Every worst thing goes through your head. But it's just, I have to,
Why do we do this?
I don't know.
Your heart is outside of your body.
Yes, that's what it is.
That's
And that's
fucked
like
up.
the biggest fear in the world is like losing the thing you love that much.
Woof.
Oof.
Woof.
Well, we're going to go have some lunch on that note. Check out Rachel's special. She's hilarious.
Amazing.
Amazing. I loved our, just skeptics on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm even more skeptical now.
Yes.
Yes.
I so stand.
Correct.
Correct. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.